come to Nilesh Shah, because just take a look at these hard numbers. The rupee reaches an all-time low of 77.41 against the dollar. India's foreign exchange reserves falling below the $600 billion mark. And you've got foreign institutional investors on a selling spree. April, the 7th month, consecutive month, where FIIs have been net sellers. Outflows, $3.8 billion. Inflation biting, retail inflation around 7%. Should we be worried, very worried?
Rajdeep, it is all about how we see the numbers. Let me give your narrative in a different format. Rupee has appreciated 13.5% against yen in last 1 year. Rupee has appreciated 9% against GBP last year. Rupee has appreciated similarly against euro. So rupee is actually an appreciation move. Second, while FX reserves have fallen, India is one of the few countries in the world where FX reserves are still higher than its FX debt. While inflation is high in India, it is one of that rare period in India's history where Indian inflation is lower than American inflation. And while growth is coming down in India, it is still for the second year in running fastest growing major economy in the world. So it all depends upon how we want to see the economy.
I as a journalist tend to see things as half empty. You as a person who is a market analyst looks at it as half full. I'm just asking you, yes, we are doing better than other economies relative to the dollar, but should we be worried? I come back to the question. From your smile, I detect that you seem to believe that we are in a comfortable position. Are we comfortable given the fact that we could have a further spike in oil prices, that this war in Ukraine could continue, that we have a lockdown in China, all of which could be affecting the world economy, and we are no longer insulated from it?
Undoubtedly, Rajdeep, we can't be complacent. As you very correctly mentioned, we are in a very uncertain world where Russia-Ukraine situation can pull oil prices higher. In our Kundli, Rahu and Ketu is oil prices. A 10% rise in crude means 20 basis point drop in our GDP growth, 40 basis point increase in our inflation. So while we are better off compared to many other countries, we can't afford to be complacent. We need to be on our guard. We are seeing across our neighborhood how bad economic policies can create disaster. Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all are classic example of how bad economic policies can create disaster. So we need to be concerned. Undoubtedly, it's a very, very challenging economic environment. We are oasis among the desert, but we still need to be concerned.
Okay, you use the word oasis among the desert. Good word to take to Dr. Abik Baruai. Are we really an oasis in the desert? Or is it the fact that slowly even this oasis is facing a problem at the moment that could lead to further desertification?
Yes, it depends on a couple of things on how you define what you define as the desert, what size the desert is. My sense is that yes, we are better placed than a lot of economies, including a heavyweight economy than China. There could be, to use your word, further desertification. This period of turbulence might persist for a while. I mean, this is rough weather. This is likely to continue, and I don't think we have a fix on how long it will continue. So we need to be prepared for a lot of uncertainty, turbulence in the markets, impact on inflation, growth, etc. For the near term or even the medium term.
Now, when you say near term, medium term,
so let me sort of define near term specifically.
Yes.
3 months, medium term, I would say 6 to 9 months. The question is, in this turbulence, will the plane crash? For other economies, the plane might crash. I am reasonably confident, and I'm just sort of echoing what Nilesh was saying, that we are unlikely to crash. This does not mean that we will be entirely protected from the turbulence. And I think inflation certainly is a big issue. It is, as you understand better than me, a very major sort of political issue. Bringing it down is a huge challenge. There are challenges on the supply side, on monetary policy, and so forth. And that's the problem that will sort of keep policymakers and
Right.
politicians worried going forward.